Hello, Monsters Abound here, and welcome back to Total War Troy, the second part of our Rhesus campaign as Thrace. Thrace. Are you now? Well, that is exciting. Didn't realise that. Didn't realise you had him in the family tree, but there we go. Right, last time we fought some fairly brutal battles to secure a little bit of territory over here, knocked out a couple of factions. Now, the other factions nearby are fairly friendly to us, and we're going to maintain that. However, to the east, there's these purple guys, Edonia. What's their little flag?
This won't take too long.
It won't. Right, okay, so they don't like us. And they also don't like our allies down here. Allies who I may decide to kill. But for the moment, I think we'll keep them alive. So we're still doing a little bit of recruitment over here. Still replenishing a little bit. We did take a lot of damage in that previous battle. Did manage to secure the settlement, though. It was, it was a very ballsy move. Oh, we don't want to demolish that just yet, do we? No, not yet. Not yet. We'll keep it for the moment. Because obviously we're doing some recruitment. Once we finish recruitment there, we can go elsewhere. You want to give me some stone for some wood. I am okay with that because I've got a lot of wood and I don't have any stone. So obviously that makes a lot more sense. Let's speed everyone up. There we go. Perfect. Now let's see if we can get the purple people to declare war on these guys, because that would be good. Right, it needs to be maximum strength. I mean, can do. We also need to kill these guys. So maybe I'm going to come over here. We're going to knock this down. Provincial instability should dissipate over time. Got a couple of new building slots here, which is perfect. That's exactly what we want. And right now, what are we going to do? Now, what I could potentially do is if we go, is it a seer? Yes. So, if we get now that means, right, so basically a seer will instantly max out your relations with the god. So, if you go Apollo first, then you can get the seer, and then you can max out others. I mean, it's not the best, but I mean, we could maybe go something like Ares, which is like more melee attack and charge. And seeing as we're like big on the melee attack and charge, that would make a lot of sense. But I'm thinking we go Apollo to start off with, and then we can max out Ares. No, I'm going to go Ares first. Fuck it, don't care. It's probably the sensible. It's probably not the sensible choice, but it's going to happen. We can increase happiness. Don't really need it. This would give us stuff for armies in the province, but again, probably don't need it. So let's go with the wheelwright, and then so we've knocked that one down here, which is fine. I would like this, but it's just that little bit. Well, actually, what I would like is this, because then we can get the high influence. But let's go with growth for the moment. And I don't really want the training camp, but I might have to go with it. So what's the difference between these two guys, actually? So you have less health, less armor, less morale, but you have more melee attack and more charge bonus. Fair enough. You also have... Oh, so you're armor piercing. The woodsman is armor piercing. Not that many units have armor to pierce at this point. So you have a furious charge, which means that... Let's pin that there. Unit can inflict flanking penalties to enemy units when they're charging from the front. And that's quite potent. And then these guys...
So it shall be.
So speed and combat penalties caused by terrain are ignored by this unit. So if you're fighting in like not as good terrain, then they're better. So maybe if we do something like that, so we have a few mountaineers but mostly woodsmen, I think that probably makes sense. We can go and take on the Burb people, but we're not going to go Burb. We're going to go with the gloriousness that is the snake. has been decided. We don't need defences, do we? Nah, defences are boring. Don't need defences. The best defense is a good offense. So we've made... Oh, here we go. Epic mission issued. Make a sacrifice to Gerbil. The ancient god of lightning, the Thracians made offerings, a three-headed gerbil. Oh, God. It is of utmost importance that you arm the men before their march against the tribes of Achaea in support of your Trojan allies. The sacred rituals demand that you enact a sacrifice to mighty Gerbil, god of the storm. A proper offering to the great Thracian deity will ensure your craftsmen are guided by his divine hand. It's going to give us the golden armour and plus 10 devotions. That is quite nice. Also got the call of the mother. There we go. That's what we want. Snack people. Snack people are down there. We'll go snack people. We completed this mission. So we've got food, gold, and bronze. Having 20 boys in a unit, in an army, even. So let us.
Not a chance.
We're still healing, but we're going to go straight for it. We're going to take out the bird people. So these guys are actually fairly nasty. It's a small army, but taking them on early on can be just harsh, depending on, you know, what units you have against them. I think we should be fine. Are these cavalry? I think they are cavalry, aren't they? What's their speed? 55, 42. So these guys are cavalry, these guys are infantry. That should be fine. Our first battle against the mythological expeditionary forces. These guys, of course, the bird people. Well, they hunt the burbs. That's why they have the feathers. And these armies they're not hard to deal with if you have a full stack, but they can have some nasty abilities. These guys are probably the easiest to take on because they're not really... They don't really have any nasty tricks up their sleeves, really. They kind of get better... They've got flanking attack. They're just generally pretty good flanking units. But obviously the dead guys are unbreakable, so they just fight into the last. And the Hydra people have the poison, which does a lot of damage. If you're not expecting it, that can be really nasty. However, as always, our secret weapon is the chariots. I mean, they're not really that secret, but still. Now, these guys do have extra damage against large units. I mean, that would matter if there was more of them. As it is, we're just going to ram straight into them and then just pull through. Our chariots will take some damage as they get bogged down in combat. You can see... getting a little bit beaten up there, but once they've managed to free themselves of the melee, they will have done fair. I mean, look at that. That unit is absolutely torn to shreds. Not to mention the fact that the woodsmen coming up from behind give them a good old chop in the back as they're desperately trying to hunt down the chariots. The chariots then continue on their merry way, slamming into the back of more infantry units. Meanwhile, our giants are hunting down the cavalry. Giants, of course, have that anti-large bonus. They're quite killy boys. Taking on that cavalry. Of course, there's not much cavalry in the game unless you're playing the Amazons or you have access to centaurs. You basically don't get cavalry. So these guys do have cavalry, and the cavalry's not too bad. So if you do want some horses, you might go with the bird people. They're always good. But I say this time we're going Sneck. Because I did a little poll, so Sneck it is. But the bird people are out of here. Off they go. The giants just ripping them to pieces. Nice and easy. Just blob them with numbers. Chariots mow them down. It's a classic. It's a classic. Bit of replenishment there, and that army should be dead. There we go, and we've got a burb. Got a little burb and swift-footed horses. Here against 6% speed in battle while on a chariot. Well, he's not on a chariot, but I'm sure that'll come in useful when he does. Right, let's march over here. But what we could do is... Can we merge these dweebs together? Get rid of you. Get the burb. Burb is in. Burb can be quite useful. Okay, let's... If I upgrade the Citadel, that is going to be another 15 growth. Same there, but it is going to give us another chunk of food. This is going to give us 5 construction slots. Okay. Okay, let's do that. I do need more food, but I need more influence as well. And the sooner we upgrade the main building, the sooner we get that nice influence. So we complete this mission because we've got a little thing to Ares there. Are you guys at war with each other?
I'm glad we're talking now.
Okay, good. About what? What do you want to talk about? I hate small talk. Is there anyone we can potentially... No, who likes us? You like us the most.
This could work out well for us both.
Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna... This is fine. Right, we have the dead guys there, and then we've got
not a chance.
The Sneck people there. So we need to take out both of them, ideally before we decide to pick a fight with these guys. I wanted to move quite quickly here, take out all of these cities before my... In fact, I don't need to bring my allies in, do I? I can just leave them out, it's fine. We'll just leave them out. They can do their own thing. Let's get some loggers. Loggers tents. How's the public order here? Prince's abilities 5. I think that'd be alright, actually. We should be okay, I think. We should be okay. If we grab these settlements, we should then have, you know, stone, more wood, bronze, all that kind of good stuff. Resources that we need. The revelry has ended. The ritual has concluded. We now have 8 devotion. Oh, but what we can now do... What we can now do with our little rituals is... Here we go. So we've got the offering to Ares. So we can do this. It's going to cost us a little bit of food, a little bit of wood, and 1 devotion, but that's fine. And now that it's active forever. Until you cancel it, it doesn't disappear. So you'll have that forever. So you're going to get 2 devotion for victorious battles and 20 favour upon victorious battles against anyone, basically, which is quite nice. And that will increase in power as you upgrade the temple there, so you can get 30 and then 40. So that's quite nice. And what I want to do when we get 10 is get a countless host. So we can get one of these bad boys, and they're just going to raid for us, basically.
Rhesus of Thrace.
Okay, let's go and kill these guys. It'll annoy these guys, but who cares? They're jerks. Right, these Marksmen of Elysium are quite nasty, but the Wretched Shade's actually not too problematic. And now we face the Shades of the Underworld. Unbreakable, and they have quite nasty missile units. Their ranged Marksman of Elysium, 42 missile damage. It's very nasty. So obviously you don't want to stick at range for too long, but seeing as we are an army that likes to get up close and personal. You can see our boys here, the Mountaineers, with 36 charge bonus. That's not bad. Plus we have our Burb. He's flying around, getting the attention of those Marksmen of Elysium. Getting a few shots aimed for the Burb, but actually landing in amongst the Mountaineers. Chariots moving around behind. The Wretched Shades are a fairly weak unit,
The foe has sighted your hidden units.
but unbreakable. And then the chariots coming around from the rear. Going to get a lovely little charge right into them. Oh, that's going to sting. Or it would if they were alive anyway.
Victory is close enough to taste.
However, one unit of marksmen has actually managed to get away, or at least isn't really being hunted by any of our infantry. But the giant skirmishers are doing a lot of damage to them, and the marksmen aren't really doing a lot of damage in return. The chariots doing their usual Grand Theft Auto, Grand Theft Chariot? Grand Theft Horse? Anyway, whatever. They're running people over. I'm going to go and hunt down this little unit over here. Make sure they can't turn their bows on us. Well, you can run, but you can't hide. Mostly because you really glow. Very glowy. Very difficult for them to hide in a bush, for example. They definitely had their ready brick. Maybe it was poisoned, though, and that's why they died. Anyway, the chariots grinding them into dust? To goo? I don't know. I don't know what happens if you... They're just kind of... Do you think if you cut one of their heads off, you could use it as like a nightlight? I mean, obviously, it wouldn't be in good taste. But, you know, a bit of a talking point, maybe, if you put it on your coffee table. Just throwing that out there. Just a thought. Well, the last few shades are being hunted down and exterminated. The enemy general is fleeing. And that's the second of the 3 armies down. A few light losses, but nothing to worry about. We get a little bit of favour for Ares as well. And of course, a little bonus in devotion, so we now have 9. And we've defeated them, and we've got Spearmaster of Elysium in the recruitment pool, should we need them. So if we have a look at our Divine Will, you can see that Ares is now up to 110. We could do a little hecatomb for him. Why not?
Prepare the sacrifices.
Throw a little party for him. And that's going to give us more charge and more damage for infantry units wielding 2-handed weapons, which is, I'm going to be honest, most of our army.
King Rhesus.
And now we've got that one done. Lovely. We need to accumulate 250 favour, which, you know, we should be able to do. And now we've got the Sneck people. So let's kill the Sneck people. Sneck people, prepare to get chewed up by... Wow, really? I mean, have you seen my chariots? So the last of the mythological expeditionary forces is, of course, the Sneck people. There they are, drinkers of venom. Yeah, this is why they put those notes on the sides of Bleach, isn't it? Saying not for consumption. Venom, do not drink. And like, oh, because I was, oh, shit. Hydra Archers. Now, of course, most of these units, in fact, all of them, I think, will cause poison attacks, and poison is very nasty. You can see the burb getting hit a little bit there, but also them landing in amongst these units, and look how fast their health is going down. Gee, and that's just from the dot effect. So you do not want to fight a battle of attrition with Hydra forces, Hail Hydra, because the longer you're fighting them, the more you're taking damage from the poison. They just need to live longer than you. That's pretty much all they need to do. They have these Hydra defenders. They're quite tanky boys. We're going to ignore them and charge them in the back. Enjoy! And then our chariot's just going to run down these archers so they can't do any more damage. Oof. Yeah, you don't want to fight a long battle with Hydra forces. Fortunately for us, we're very charge based, and so this battle doesn't last very long. Even the Hydra defenders, seeing the rest of their army routed, quickly follow suit. And there we go. Do I need the food? Not really. I mean, I need more food, but just in general.
By my lead.
Call the mother. There we go. Got rid of them. Okay, I'm going to get rid of you, because who needs archers? Boring. And we're going to get a Hydra Priest. Hail Hydra. And what do we like? Plus 50% devotion for activated divine offering after a 6. I mean, considering you're probably going to be the army that runs around killing things, having you increase devotion from divine offering. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that.
Bloodshed awaits.
And we're going to scamper up here.
Without fear.
Good. Good. I need to upgrade you. I mean, what? Okay. So, I mean, I could get the Hunter's Lodge, but that will reduce my growth. Let's reduce my influence. Do I have... Hey, hang on. Do I have the influence building, just out of interest? I do not. But this will increase influence nearby. Oh, no, don't do that. So, what does this do? Oh, there is a building that does increase influence. I mean, it's not... +6 influence. There we go. So I guess I need one of these. I mean, it doesn't increase influence until level 4, but it's not that expensive. I mean, it does need stone, and I don't currently have stone. I mean, it is... looks like it's made of stone, so that probably explains why. So, we need this one here, because that's going to give us stone. That's what we need. We need stone. I'm going to knock down that. That's how ballsy I'm feeling. On the other hand, do I actually have anything to build here? Probably not, so... yet. Obviously, eventually we're going to build the building that reduces growth, because who cares about growth once you max your city out? Don't need to worry about it. Mythic expeditions can begin. Okay, and the countless host army is available. Perfect. Portents in the sky, less growth. Great. Wait, it's the wood city. Okay, no one cares about that one. And you want me to recruit a hero? Can do. What's the public order here? I'm only getting 99 woods. Let's do that, and then less problems, maybe. Okay.
Mightiest of kings.
Okay, let's do that. Shall we kill you first? Can I do this?
We march.
And then
Sabazios
do
trample
that.
them.
Don't call my ally, because I don't need them. And yep, that's going to be an absolute slaughter. Although they do have centaur hunters, which is going to be a problem for my chariots. But I mean, killing all their mountaineers shouldn't be difficult. One of the things Troy adds, and I really hope finds its way into other Total War games, is different types of terrain, like this mud. It's a big stretch of mud across this entire battlefield. Now, as we know, the mountaineers don't get affected by terrain. So, in fact, realistically, I think all units have some detriment. I mean, obviously heavy units are worse affected in mud. Chariots, I think, get a minus 30% malus to pretty much most of their attack stats from being in mud and movement speed. Heavy infantry, probably the same. But the Mountaineers don't get those effects, so you probably want to... I mean, ideally you'd use the Mountaineers in the mud. Because that way they don't get affected by it, and any unit they're fighting probably does. Chariot smashing into the flank of the enemy, running straight through and out the other side. Our infantry is slowly advancing. We also have, of course, the Hydra Priest now. Hail Hydra. He's definitely been drinking the venom, hasn't he? He's got it in a little brown bag. Brown paper bag. Chariot's coming back for more. Racking up the kills so quickly. It's just a huge press of light infantry. Plus all these guys are exhausted as well. They're very tired. So their stats are absolute garbage. Another thing I like about Troy, it shows you the stat effect from being tired. Because it doesn't in Warhammer, you just have to guess. But as you can see, the effect on their stats is pretty brutal. Absolutely savage. The chariots are... well, I mean, the chariots have broken the entire enemy army. Let's be brutally honest here. The enemy army is getting ground to pieces. The centaurs are about the only thing I was slightly worried about. And to be honest, having seen their infantry being absolutely devastated... I mean, look at this! That's a war crime, what I just did here. I just did a war crime with chariots. Our infantry have turned up, but to be honest, I don't really need to do anything. The chariots have already done it all. Well, needless to say, that was an absolute slaughter. I'm going to take lives as barter.
Moving on. King Rhesus.
Now, I don't really want you recruiting, but we're just going to scooch over here and take, because I need some wow, really? Auto-resolve is not my friend, is it? It really isn't. Okay, well, I guess we'll take a see me next time. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.